Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. We're back again. So, as you guys know, the Lakers preseason kicked off last night, not just for them, the New Orleans Pelicans as well played. But the Lakers preseason kicked off yesterday against the Phoenix Suns. I want to state from the onset, I did not watch the game. I also heard the news that Luka Doncic would not play because of rest, and LeBron James is not playing or didn't play because of this glute injury that he has. Great. But I was aware later in the night that the team was playing because I saw a post on Instagram. Was it from House of Highlights? I think it was from House of Highlights of a video of Bronny checking into the game. And I said, here we go again. Yet another season of this circus. So did my thing, went to bed just to wake up this morning. And I said, well, let me go see how the Lakers did last night, right? Because although LeBron didn't play, although Luka didn't play, I thought that the Lakers would have played at least a bit of a competitive game. Folks, they got blown out by 22 points. Now, it's important to say that if you guys have been following this channel, I've always said that the preseason, 90% of the time, does not matter. It just simply doesn't matter. But there's certain things that I do look out for. So I then went to the box score to see what occurred. And I looked at the box score. I looked at what the Phoenix Suns did. Various players did well. Devin Booker obviously did well. So I went over to the Lakers side to see, well, what happened with the Lakers? Who played well? Who put forth an effort, etc. Rui Hachimura, he scored 11 points. He didn't shoot well from the floor, 25%. Jared Vanderbilt shot 0% from the field. He's not really a shooter. He's more of a defensive guy. He had 1 point. Andre Ayton, he played 18 minutes. He had 8 rebounds in the game. 2 offensive rebounds. He had 4 turnovers. 1 point, he didn't really play well. Jake Lavaria, he played 19 minutes, 7 points. Austin Reeves played in almost 21 minutes. He shot 54% from the field, scored 20 points, had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, only 2 turnovers. He played well. It was a preseason game. Then I get to the guy that these major sports companies are promoting on the internet. They're not promoting Austin Reeves. They're not promoting all of these other guys. Rui, they promoted Bronny. Bronny's checking into the game. So I'm like, well, let me see what Bronny did. So I go to look at the box score. Bronny had 8 points. And then I realized he shot 1 of 12 from the field. Bronny shot 8.3% from the floor. He shot 12.5% from the 3. The guy took 8 threes. That's too many threes. Because you're shooting that percentage, bro. I mean, Bronny can't really shoot like that. He did make 5 of his 6 free throws. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 turnovers. I then went to go see some of the highlights. And I noticed that the channels that were showing Bronny highlights were actually showing free throws as highlights. Free throws. They were showing crossovers with missed shots as highlights. And I said to myself, I said, look, I'm going to be talking about the Lakers this year. And for those of you who have followed this channel and watched me cover the Clippers and other teams, I suffer nobody when it comes to pointing out players that don't play well. Based on what I'm seeing and based on what I saw, Bronny should not be on the Lakers roster. Bronny should not be on this roster. Number 1, what role is Bronny meant to play? What's his ideal fit? Is he a 3-and-D guy? Not really, no, because he really can't shoot. Is he a defensive guy? Who's he guarding at 6'2"? And you already got a defensive player of the year, a former defensive player of the year, and Marcus Smart on the team. Is he a starter? No, he's not a starter. Is he going to come off the bench? Absolutely, he's going to come off the bench. But let's look at the Lakers roster just for a moment here. Mind you, LeBron didn't play. Luka didn't play. So their starting five, most likely, will be comprised of DeAndre Ayton, probably LeBron James, obviously, Luka Doncic. Then you probably are going to have, let me see, maybe Jared Vanderbilt in there. Maybe they'll have him or maybe Rui Hachimura. Bronny's not cracking that top five. They may also consider making Austin Reeves come off the bench to have an offensive punch. So you're going to the bench. You have Austin Reeves. Dalton Knecht should get minutes before Bronny. Marcus Smart should get minutes before. Now we're 8 players deep. Jackson Hayes should get minutes to replace Ayton. So where does Bronny fit in all of this? Bronny is a backup player. Backup. But yesterday, he got 24 minutes on the floor. Guys, Bronny played the second most minutes in the game. The only player that played more was Dalton Knecht. Now, he didn't shoot well. He shot 20% from the field. But Dalton is already proven to be a better player. It's already proven. The guy can run the floor. He can hit threes. He's athletic. He can finish at the rim. So to me, I'm looking at this thing, and I'm going to get to some other comments that JJ Redick made a little bit later. What is Bronny's purpose on this team? What's the big play? What's the big, like, okay, what's the big reveal here? 8.3% from the field? 8.3? And then, of course, you're going to have people in the media and try. I watched one of the highlight videos, and people were talking about it's good for his first preseason game. Bro, this is his second year. This is not his first. This is his second year in the NBA. What improvement are you guys truly seeing? What it seems like to me is that Bronny just on the team because the Lakers decided to do something charitable. If I'm covering the Lakers this year, I'm not twerking for y'all. I'm not these Laker fans that cover the Lakers. They be up here twerking it up for y'all. If the goal is winning, if the goal is to win, then the necessary things must be done and necessary things must be said. This is one of them. I don't know what he's doing on this roster. I don't know. And no one will come up to me and tell me, oh, you're hating on Bronny. No. If Bronny was a hell of a player, we'll say he's a hell of a player. Last year, I thought JJ Redick wasn't going to take the Lakers anywhere. He proved me wrong, and I gave him his credit. I said it. The video's on the channel. I gave him his credit. The Lakers did better in the regular season, much better than I thought, and I gave him his flowers. So it's not a thing of, oh, you're trying to no. The fact is, this guy's not good enough to be on this team. He's not. And I'm not doing this thing of, oh, LeBron's son is off limit. We talk trash about great players. So why should players who are not any good at all, why should they be spared? We talk trash about great players. Great players. Didn't nobody spare the rod when it came to Russell Westbrook. I didn't see people pulling punches. Y'all were letting them fly. Y'all was busting y'all guns in the air. Get it, Russ. Get it, Russ. Get it, Russ. So why should I now take it easy on Bronny? No, there's no taking it easy. No, he shouldn't be on the team. No, there's no taking it easy. This is a business. This team, the goal is to win. And I'm not here to suffer the foolishness. If you feel a type of way, I'm talking about LeBron's son, then you and LeBron get off the team. We're talking about the Lakers here. This isn't a group project, right? This is not a charity event. The goal is to win, and I don't know what he's doing on this roster. They could have filled that role in with another guy. Maybe another backup, a point guard, another backup big or whatever it is. But for him to go out there and play 25 minutes and shoot 12%, bro, come on, like, who we kidding here? Who we kidding? And I'm going to call it out. I know these other Laker fans out there who are LeBron fans masquerading as Laker fans. Well, I'm not going to point. These people are not serious. Call it as it is. The NBA season is starting pretty much in about 2 weeks from now. Obviously, we had a lot of movement this offseason in terms of big names coming into the sports realm. Michael Jordan. I can't wait to hear what Michael Jordan is going to say. I was trying to do some research this morning about that. I didn't really get much information about his return to NBC. Not return, yeah, well, going to NBC Sports. Can't wait to hear what that's going to be like. So the season is underway, and we're gearing up. But a major piece of news came down the tunnel this morning when I came across a headline here from Awful Announcing this morning stating the following. ESPN signs PK Subban to multi-year contract extension. And I was like, oh, really now? PK Subban. Now, as you guys know, PK really exploded on the scene last year and throughout this year when he was talking, when he had these explosive moments on Get Up and in First Take, where he was talking about Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. They were talking about load management. There was a time when LeBron was making the comments about ring culture and all of that. And PK stunned a lot of us viewers here because somehow, some way, ESPN allowed a Kobe/Jordan guy to infiltrate the proceedings and go out there and start giving love to Kobe and Jordan. And he was saying something that you seldom hear on that network, which is a person saying that he has Kobe Bryant confidently and comfortably ahead of LeBron James all time. So what I want to do is I want to play some of the things that PK Subban said that I think actually led to him getting this multi-year extension, because the guy did an excellent job on television this year. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
This is very easy for me, and this is why I don't put him ahead of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant for me. It's the approach to the game. And to me, in some ways, it can be insulting to look at it as chips don't matter, or why is it that other athletes aren't seen as other athletes? But the whole point of pro sports and team sports is to win, and is to win a championship. And that's your dream when it starts out, is to win. We don't want to change that. Like, there's no changing that. So when people talk about Kobe being here, and if he was here, he would say this, because the epitome of winning a championship is going through the grind. People want to see the grind. People want to see the struggle. And for LeBron, I'll always be a fan of his because he's an amazing athlete and an amazing basketball player. And he's going to go down as one of the greats. But to be an all-time great, to be the greatest, there's a certain way. How you win matters to me. Michael Jordan paying his dues, putting his time, not going somewhere else trying to win, matters to me. Kobe Bryant doing the same. Larry Bird doing the same. Magic doing the same. Because I'm sorry, what we see in today's sports, our kids, as soon as there's a struggle, as soon as they don't get that success right away, they want to jump and go. I'm calling my agent. I need to go here. I need to go there. If you're the face of an organization, that team invested in you. At 18, they could have drafted anybody on the planet. They're investing in you to help them bring a championship to the city, right? It's bigger than just you. It's bigger than that. In our sport in hockey, there's a lot of guys who didn't make $1 million a year, that didn't make $8 million, $9 million, that had to go and find jobs after playing. But you want to know something? Those guys played banged up. They played hurt. They played injured. They fought. They gave everything they had to give. And that has allowed me to make the money that I made in the National Hockey League. That has allowed me to have a decent job after my career's over, because now we have a TV deal. So what I'm saying is, you cannot forget about, Matt, you know this. You play with superstars. You played against them, right? You see them. That is a small percentage of the sport, are the stars.
Yeah.
People forget about the rest of the league. Like, there's a lot of other guys out there, and we have to think about it. The responsibility of the players is to push the game forward. If you are part of that greatness conversation, that's how I'm evaluating you. Are you moving the needle for the game, or are you just moving it for you? Because if you're moving it for you, we'll celebrate you as a great player. We'll say, hey, you're a great player, awesome, one of the all-time. But to put you in that category of a Michael Jordan, a Kobe Bryant, in my opinion, because I followed those guys. I didn't follow them just because of their rings. I followed them because of their mentality, their approach to the game. Yeah. That is, I celebrate that more than anything in sports. I don't care. I will take a guy that empties the tank on the ice and loses on a bad bounce I will celebrate him as a champion, because that's what I want guys to follow. That is what sports is all about. There's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. It's not always the best team that wins. It's not always the best player that ends up hoisting the trophy. But ultimately, what I have to take from you is, when I watch you for 82 games, do you give everything you have? Do you show up every night? Do you do right by your teammates? Do you do right by the game? because ultimately that is the best part of your legacy. That is what people will remember about you more than your championships and your rings.
Excellent. So you heard some of the things that he had to say. So let's get into what this article said in terms of the details of his contract. It says, in the 4 years since NHL returned to ESPN, Pika Subban has emerged as one of the faces of the network's coverage and will remain the case for years to come, with the worldwide leader in sports announcing on Thursday that he has signed a three-time All-Star to a multi-year deal. Here's the image. It says ESPN has signed Pika Subban to a new multi-year contract. It says the three-time NHL All-Star will continue to serve as an NHL studio analyst. Subban first joined ESPN following the conclusion of his 13-year playing career in 2022. The 36-year-old has since become a staple of the network's NHL studio show, The Point, and a regular on ESPN's other programming including Get Up, First Take, and The Pat McAfee Show. Continues on. Subban's status as a rising star at ESPN was especially evident earlier this year during the network's coverage of the Four Nations Face-Off event, which replaced the league's traditional All-Star game format. While ESPN might not feature the NHL as prominently as the NFL, college football, or NBA, it's typically Subban who is on air when the Disney-owned company discusses the league during its non-hockey specific programming. So PK is going to be back. Okay, and PK is going to be back for a number of years. This is fantastic news. Let me tell you why PK made so many headlines with some of his basketball commentary. The reason he did was because usually the people we hear from ESPN are people that twerk it up all day long. I'll give you guys another example when someone made headlines. Michael Wilbon. Do you remember when Michael Wilbon went on Get Up and was basically saying, LeBron is not going to corner me and have him ahead of Kobe, ahead of Jordan. If you don't like that, kick rocks. Then he went on. These guys are making headlines because ESPN is dripping in honey. It's dripping. I mean, these guys just lathered themselves up. So whenever you have a guy that's a Jordan guy or a Kobe guy who's unapologetic about his support, it ruffles feathers. It makes headlines because you remember when they were first talking about Kobe and all the Stephen A. said Kobe shouldn't be in the conversation, and then Michael Wilbon came on and then he quickly changed. This is what makes that network have more balance, when they allow other voices with varying opinions to talk. But too much of what we've been seeing, especially when it comes to their basketball coverage, it's just a bunch of twerking. Ones are flying everywhere in the air. Stephen A. just tossing them out like this, man. Bands, he the band man, the rubber band man. That's who Stephen A. Smith, just tossing here. You dance for me. You shake that for me. Shake this for me. Pour some honey on his back. Shake that for me. We're not talking about Kobe right now. Shake that for me. That's what was going on. So PK walked in the building and threw some sandpaper on these dudes. Like, yo, knock it off. Break it up. And a lot of us were happy to see him on the network. So I hope that we get to see him more on Get Up. I hope that we get to see him more on First Take. And frankly, he does a much better job talking basketball than even some of those NFL guys. Them NFL dudes on ESPN be twerking it up too. These dudes be twerking. I don't remember the guy's name, the one with the glasses. I don't remember his name, Swaggy, whatever his name is. He be twerking too. They all just up there lined up. You take one. Just jars. My God, it's good. We like that. We like this. Let's get some balance on that network and make the coverage interesting for once. Instead of just a bunch of twerking ass LeBron fans all over the network. Littered them all over TV. Even when they signed Shannon Sharp, he was another one. Just up there shaking. That's why when him and PK had that back and forth, PK like, nah, dogs, knock it off, dogs. Knock it off. I love it. So this is a topic that just came up in the last moment. I was already done shooting for the day, and then I just saw this topic on my phone. And I said, hey, why not talk about it? So as you guys know, we've covered this story about Molly Qerim's abrupt departure from ESPN First Take, right? It was something that caught plenty of us on the exterior off guard. Molly actually posted on her Instagram story, she said, to my First Take family, after much reflection, I've decided it's time to close this incredible chapter and star away from First Take. Hosting this show has been one of the great honors of my career. So we did some shows about it. A lot of people have reacted to it, given their thoughts on it. I get my thoughts on it. Even Stephen A. Smith came out there and did a show reacting to it where he was kind of sneak dissing Molly, talking about, oh, you need to understand your value and your worth and your value and your worth and all of this. And we're like, bro, what are you talking? He's like, I'm not talking about Molly, but you need to understand your value. You need to understand leverage. I'm like, well, she's the one that just lost the job. So, what are you referring to, right? So that was said. So I came across this report here from Sports Illustrated with the following headline. Listen to this. Molly Qerim's ridiculously low ESPN salary revealed reportedly before stunning exit. The former First Take co-host for 10 years felt disrespected during contract negotiations, according to a former colleague. And I'm like, let's continue on. Molly Qerim's abrupt departure, not only from the First Take show, she co-hosted with Stephen A. Smith for 10 years, but the ESPN network came as a big surprise. The Emmy Award winner's real salary was likely a big reason for her exit, as being reported. The 41-year-old Qerim's contract was up at the end of the year, and negotiations to expand her new role with ESPN broke down, and she decided to leave immediately. She didn't even get to break her own news. However, which disappointed her, she then wrote on online, which we already read. Then continues on. Qerim did have her first gig hosting a Q&A at UConn's Huskies men basketball coach Dan Hurley on October the 1st, where she posted her first photo and a fit since leaving ESPN. While an ESPN executive revealed the real reason she left, from their perspective, it appears to be more of a PR spin. Continues on. Qerim's former colleague Marcellus Wiley, who co-hosted the show Sports Nation with her on ESPN, had more of the dirt. However, on his podcast, more to it. Continues on. Wiley said Qerim definitely felt disrespected. Smith is making $21 million a year with a new 5-year contract, and other female talent on the network like Malika Andrews and Mina Kimes make in the 7 figures. Wiley said Molly wasn't getting what she wanted, and that reportedly she's making around $500,000 a year. Wiley would go on to say that Qerim wanted to host other shows, even her own show, but the network wasn't having it. That's what's happening. They weren't signing off on her doing her own show or any other show at the network, Wiley said, before adding, Molly finally woke up and said, enough is enough. It then continues on. He also talks about her relationship with Smith. He also talks about how her relationship with Smith wasn't great because he has the kind of pull that would have gotten her paid what she wanted to keep her there. And then it talks about the full podcast, and Marcellus Wiley breaks it down perfectly. Then continues on. Whatever went down, Qerim was clearly lowballed and underpaid at around $500,000 a year and decided she wasn't going to stand for it. Now, let's talk about it. Y'all remember when I said that they were taking her for a ride, only paying her $500,000? $500,000 isn't a lot. There are people that get paid more. Y'all, some people came at me, Charles, what do you mean $500,000 is not a lot? Of course, $500,000 is a lot, right? Of course, it's a lot of money. But the problem is, given her niche, her industry, and at the level that she was at, and the level of experience that she had, mind you, she had been on that show for 10 good years. And I think she had been with the network since 2006. This isn't somebody just walked off the street and decided to join ESPN. This is somebody that has tenure in the business, working at the worldwide leader for Pete's sake. That's the first thing. You then hear what others were getting paid. Even Malika Andrews was earning more than her. And nobody likes her. But she was getting paid more than Molly. And I also gave the example of, in the sports podcasting space, there are people, females, that make more than Molly Qerim that don't even do a quarter of the work that she does. They get paid $500,000 just to show up a few times a week. Not even every week. And they're making $500,000. So I was like, how is it possible that these people are making more than she is? And she's on this show every single day, it seems like. If they're traveling over there, she'll go. If they do a show in Antarctica, Molly will be there sitting on top of a polar bear reporting. So when she's going through the contract negotiations, she's like, my God, you guys, it's not like as if you guys don't have the money. It's not like as if I'm asking you for $2 million, but my God, at least give me $1 million. Do y'all understand the kind of money that's out there? Maybe some of y'all are confused. How much you think Cam and Mason them got on their first deal? It was like 28 million or something for their first deal. What y'all think is going on? Now, obviously, everybody isn't making that money. I'm not making their money, that 28 million. I'm not making that money, but I know that the money's out there. And if I know it, she knows it. And she knows it also based on how much they're willing to give her partner. Not to say that Molly should be on Stephen A. Smith's level. I don't even think she'd have had her own show. I don't think so at all. But at least for that show, you couldn't even break off 1M. What would it have changed? Wouldn't it have been meant more to just keep her and make her happy and move on? I guess not. And Marcellus Wiley is 100% correct. 1,000% correct. If Stephen A. Smith wanted to get it done, he would have got it done. Do you know how we know? Because he already said this about other people. He already said it. I think Kendrick Perkins is the one that revealed him. I think Stephen A. Smith got them paying him $750,000 a year or whatever the hell the number was, $800,000 a year. Some other people have said Stephen A. Smith has helped them get paid. Dan Orlovsky is one that's also mentioned. It's not like as if Stephen A. Smith has major pull. I mean, for goodness sake, he's the face of the bloody network. He's the face of the network. We're not talking about Stephen A. Smith when Max Kellerman was there. No. It's him. He's their $100 million guy. And for somebody, but Molly always used to allude to it. I wouldn't know what that feels like. I wouldn't know what traveling like that. She always used to joke about it. Now you see it. Apparently, Mina Kimes and Malika Andrews make more than Molly. I'm not taking anything away from them, but they make more than Molly. You think Molly isn't sitting there with every time Stephen A. Smith goes out there and says, I have the number one show, the number one show, the number one show. Well, let me get paid like I'm part of the number one show. How about that? Let me get paid like I'm part of the number one show. I mean, you're always saying it. Are we kidding? Like, come on, man. Nah, they could have did better than that. I refuse to join the clown show this year. I refuse to do it. I am not going to be a part of the clown show, which is what the Lakers have been for a good part of the last 6-7 years. A total clown show. And the icing on the cake was when they signed Bronny. And Laker fans were up there cheering more for Bronny than actually wanting the team to win games. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this? What is the fan base become? And if you mention anything about it, oh, you don't like your dad. Oh, your dad doesn't like you. You never have a relationship. I'm like, bro, what? We're talking basketball, and this is a business. What are you bringing all of this nonsense into the conversation? What is wrong with you people? This is basketball. Most of us, these are fans of the game, and y'all trying to turn it into something else, and we shouldn't have an opinion about it. Oh, but if you're going to put Bronny on the roster, then he's free game, bro. The same way we be cooking all these other dudes that play like ass from night in, night out, he ain't exempt from the smoke. It just is what it is. And if you don't like that, you're not ready to be watching sports. Let's get into the point of this. So the Lakers had a preseason game yesterday, and I don't make a big deal out of preseason games at all. But one thing stuck out to me like a sore thumb was Bronny. Now, how did I even remember that the Lakers were playing? Because House of Highlights posted a reel of Bronny checking into the basketball game. I'm like, well, y'all are doing it. Y'all are promoting him. So if y'all are thrusting him in our faces, we're going to talk about it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So they thought Bronny checking in. I'm like, all right. So I go to check out the box score. Lakers get blown out by 20 plus points, 22 points, right? They get body slammed, but it's fine. LeBron didn't play. Luka didn't play. So I go to look at the box score. Let me see what Bronny did. The dude that they're promoting all over the internet. Bronny finished that game shooting a earth-shattering 8.3%. 8.3% from the floor. Looks about the same as he did last year. About the same. And he got an ample amount of minutes of 24 minutes. Dalton Connect played 26 minutes. He had 6 points, but guess what? We already know Dalton is better than we don't need to notice. Hence the reason he was even worth being traded. Because that means there must be some residual value there. Bronny just went up there and stunk it up. Just when you thought it wouldn't stop, the twerking kept going. I came across an article here from CBS Sports that was published a few hours ago stating the following. Bronny James struggles in 1 for 12 preseason debut. Redick lauds Lakers guards offseason growth. This is the nonsense we are talking about. Let's continue on. It may not have shown up in the box score in the Los Angeles Lakers preseason opener, but Coach J.J. Redick says he is thrilled with the steps Bronny took in his development ahead of his second year. The former second-round pick made strides in the summer league action and carried that momentum into the early days of training camp, even though it did not manifest during the Lakers' 103-81 defeat against the Phoenix Suns. James struggled from the field in his preseason debut with a 1-for-12 effort. He collected 5 of his 8 points from the free throw line, with his only field goal coming on a 3-point conversion. Now listen to this. He is so much more comfortable and confident as a player, Redick said. Skill-wise, read-wise, all of those things have improved. But there's a big difference between improving those things in an individual workout and small group settings and then doing it 5-on-5. I have just felt like all of September and in our first 3 days of camp, he just looks more comfortable and confident. He's a totally different player than he was a year ago. Let's just pause on that for a second. Where are the results to support that statement? Let's continue on. He said some more things. He said, I thought the stuff that he did down in the G League last year with South Bay and Zach and his staff was huge for him in developing a comfort level with playing at this level, Redick said. In terms of his growth, he's going to have to be an impact defender. So it's really about the conditioning and knowing our defenses and being disruptive. That's, to me, where I'd like to see more growth this year. Let's stop it there again. What do defensive players focus on? What do defensive players excel at? Defense, right? Defense. If anybody that has been watching basketball for the last, 5 years, you will know that usually a great defender that's really just a defender, we're not talking about like a Ron Artest guy or Kawhi Leonard that have shown the ability to score 20 plus a game. No, we're talking about a guy that like a Tony Allen. These guys don't really prioritize offense whatsoever. They'll take a shot here and there, but that's not really their game. Bronny played almost 25 minutes yesterday, took 12 shots. He took 8 threes. That's not somebody that's transfixed on defense. That's somebody that would like to become an offensive player when instead they're supposed to be focusing on defense. They're still trying to figure that out. Now, some people say, why the high volume of threes? To prove that he can make them. Folks, that's the only reason. Unless he was just up there chucking them. He's going to take a lot of threes to exhibit whether or not he can make them. And the only way to prove that you can make them is to take them. Now, thus far, we haven't seen any evidence whatsoever that he can do that. At all. If we look at the regular season last year, he played 27 games. In the 27 games that he played, he shot 28% from the field, from the three. 28%. In preseason, obviously, we know what he's shooting right now. He's shooting 8%, right? I think last year he played in the preseason. He shot, no. Yeah. Last year in the preseason, he shot 8.3% from the three. I don't know why they have him listed here. Okay, is that what he shot? 12.5%? Okay, yeah. So last year in the preseason, he shot in 6 games, 8.3% from three. In 6. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6. Then last night he shot 12%. You have some of his supporters who are by proxy LeBron supporters. Oh man, this is great for a first preseason game. Who told you this is his first preseason game? Who told you? Who told you? This is his second year. What are you guys still running around with diapers in your hand ready to put it on him? This is not no baby. Y'all want to rock him to sleep. Nah, bro. This is a grown man. This is a young man. And I know some of the LeBron supporters are going to be mad. No. Look. Hey. This is how it works. If we're covering the Lakers and we want the Lakers to do well, we're going to address the things that are not working in order to improve them. I don't see what value he's providing to the team. If Bronny had this upside, they wouldn't have gotten Marcus Smart to join the team. Now, some people say, oh, they're bringing Marcus Smart as a mentor. And my brother, you can listen if you like. You can have 35 million conversations with Warren Buffett. That don't mean you're going to be him. If you like, have as many conversations you want with him. At a certain point, the rubber needs to hit the road. And these guys, trust and believe me, the only reason they're saying this is because it's LeBron. So if it was somebody else, it wouldn't even be a discussion. That's the fact of the matter. And I'm not going to be these fake ass Laker content creators that base their whole channel and call themselves Laker fans and they're not willing to call out the bloody obvious. And they're calling out goals as far as the coach and role players. They're not going to say nothing about LeBron. They're not going to say nothing about, we're going to call it all out. If Luka out there playing like a damn sluggard, we're going to say, move your ass. This is how we going to do it over here. Ain't no twerking allowed. Ain't no twerking allowed.